So hello and welcome back. I'm finally in my greenhouse and I'm going to start sowing some of my annual seeds. It's coming up towards the end of March, so I think it's, round about the time. I don't like to do this too early now because obviously it costs more in heating and the weather's been very unpredictable of late. But it doesn't look too desperately cold in the long term. So I'm going to have a go and get some set. I always fill my trays at first with compost and water them well and let them settle for a day or two. And they've been here acclimatising in the greenhouse and they're nice and warm. Very often if you compost outside and you fill your trays straight away, it's a bit of a chill factor. The seeds on here, the seeds will sit on nice warmish compost to start with, which I like to do, and I think it's just gives it that little bit of added bonus. Germination rates for the annual seeds, you're looking really minimum kind of 15 up to about 20-25 Celsius, so there's quite a wide ranging temperature band there, if you like, but I try and aim somewhere around between 18 and 20 Celsius. I find that if I can keep the greenhouse roughly at that while they're germinating, it's it's a good kind of benchmark that is to go on. Very simple. We'll just have a look at sowing some seeds quickly. I mean, I do this most years, but it's always such a defining moment for me in the gardening calendar. This is because this really kicks off the whole spring and summer season. So, and I've just got the general things. I've got marigolds, cosmos, ageratum, some asters, petunias, just the general very easy annual plants that you can grow in a slightly heated greenhouse like this. Unfortunately, it's very, very bright today, so I don't know how well this will come out, obviously. But for instance, if we start with this packet of petunias, which are hybrid grandifolia success, I do sometimes keep the packets to refer back to. And you'll very often find when seeds are small these days, seed firms put them in a little plastic kind of vial like that. You can see how tiny those are and how few you get. The thing that I find about these things, they're a good idea, but sometimes the seeds tend to stick. Oh, look, I've dropped a couple out already. You can't afford to do that, can you? Best to open it over the tray, actually, thinking about it. And then it's just a question of shaking the seeds out. I mean, the thing about these seeds is they are quite white, and so one can see them. In fact, those on the floor, if I get a damp finger, it's a good job my greenhouse floor is nice and clean, isn't it? See, we like to show our mistakes as well as our successes here. There's another one. There's only a few dropped out, but it's amazing. As I say, at the price seeds are nowadays, unfortunately you can't. There's another one. And I think that is all. Oh no, there's another one there. So then petunias are a very small seed. So to be absolutely honest, I cover my seeds with vermiculite, which is a kind of it's mica. It's a very dry, dusty material, but still lets light through, and it's very light, so it doesn't sort of hinder the seeds. The rule of thumb with seeds is the smaller they are, the smaller the seeds, the less coverage you want. I mean, very small seeds like these petunias, I'm only going to put the slightest little dusting over. Not going to, put a lot at all. And I'm going to call it at that. And then obviously, very important, a label. Always, label of the date. And if there's any other information, like if the plant is quite tall, I tend to write that on there as well, because I get mixed up when you're setting out. You can refer back. And that's it. Simple as that. And if we try another packet of Marigold's Orange Winner. This is a really good doer. Double French Marigold. Flowers, probably starts flowering at the end of June or even earlier, depending how the season goes and how well they come up. And will go on right until September or beyond. Sometimes they'll flower till the first frost, or you pull them up. These marigolds are a slightly bigger seed. You'll see that. There we go. Quite a feathery, big seed marigold. So there again, it's just a question of putting them it's no hard and fast rules, but I just tend to scatter them. Try and get them nicely spaced on the compost as best you can. There again, you don't get many seeds in a packet, unfortunately, these days. The more expensive type marigold should germinate very quickly, you'll often find, this time of year. Any seeds can take between, as little as 2 to 3 days to 7 to 21 days. So you've got to always give seeds plenty of time before, you write them off if you don't have any joy or nothing comes up. Which you sometimes do with seeds. It's not a guaranteed, but it's unusual if you don't get anything, I have to say. Fill a few of the gaps up where we can see gaps. The one thing about marigolds with the white, they're like a tufty bit on the end of the seeds. The white tufty bit. You can see where you put them. The actual seed itself is dark black, so once it's on the compost, that makes it quite hard to see. But you can see the got rather a big clump there. I dropped off my fingers. That's quite a nice, there's a few left in the packet there. That's quite a nice distribution about the tray. There's just going to move 1 or 2 of them. I can see I've got a big gap there, and because you're going to prick these out, it's but it's good to give them as much room as you can, to start with. And there we go. I think that really is it now. Yep. And there again, as they are a bigger seed, I shall liberally cover these seeds with my vermiculite. There again, it's only even when they're covered like this, it's only a dusting over. I find the compost, if you can sieve some of this compost over the seeds if you haven't got any vermiculite, but I sometimes find that goes green and it's quite heavy, and if you have to water it goes a bit soggy, whereas this is quite light and doesn't perhaps of the water retention as much as that. And that's it. Now I might well just give that a little sprinkling. Obviously that vermiculite is so dry, I should probably give that just a little sprinkling of water there. And then what I like to do is I've got some sheets of plastic and horticultural glass, and what I like to do is then, obviously when I've got some more set, I cover my trays with, be best to turn that round because that's a nasty bit of glass on there. Obviously when glass you've got to be careful. Like that, I cover the seed trays over with glass. I don't. Some people put paper over them. I never do that. You know, I give them full light. I like full light, but it just there again. If you've got one of those seed tray covers, like you know, a little propagator cover, that's as good. You can use those, but I've always used the glass, so I've got some glass and bits of polycarbonate, and I put that on, and that tends to retain the heat a little bit more, I find, within the area. And obviously, and as soon as you see the first sign of germination, obviously you have to lift that tray out and put it out from under the glass, you know. So I'll get on and set a few more packets now, and come back and show you, you know, when I just cover it over, kind of thing. So there we go. I've got the first 8 trays full set. Yeah, I've got a lot more to do yet, but that's just, you know, the things that really want to get away now, such as lobelia, some petunias, some bedding dahlias. The other stuff, you know, I can do at my leisure in the next few days. I've got on my old heater, don't know whether you'll see this, whether I can get it out even. I've got one of the old heater arms that actually go under my staging, so the actual warm air does go under there a little bit, which is brilliant. And obviously that then rises, and with the glass on top, you know, gives you almost like a mini climate there. Even if the greenhouse is quite cool as you come in, down under the glass, it will be, you know, you'll maintain that 18 to 20 C temperature, no problem this time of the year with this heater, because I've done it so many times. You know, if it comes desperately cold, even then there'll be enough, you know, heat from this turned up. I try and run this on as low as possible for economic reasons, because, you know, you can soon burn a lot of paraffin or kerosene, whichever you want to call it. Obviously this is the best, you should always use the best grade of paraffin in these Aladdin Blue heaters. And I've always got on really well with this heater. You've got to be, with this kind of heater, you've got to remember it hasn't got a thermostat. You know, you've got to be there to turn it up, turn it down, put it out, relight it. You know, the sun going in and out this time of the year. I mean, at the moment in this greenhouse, it's 25 Celsius because the sun's been on it. But, you know, in a couple of hours, it's going to be raining, I believe, and wet and damp, and the temperature will soon drop down to 14, 15. So you've got to be about then to come and put your heater on and give them, certainly now I've set these, give them some heat. So with one of these heaters, it does take a lot of effort to get it right and to be there and to jiggle it about all the time. Whereas if you've got a fan heater on the thermostat, you know, you perhaps would set that to something like between 15 and 18, and that would cut in and out and supposedly keep your greenhouse warm to that temperature. But the cost of electricity, you know, it would be staggering, I think, to run a, you know, this is a drafty old greenhouse. It's only 3mm horticultural glass. There's such a great heat loss here. You know, heating electricity is not viable. So there we go. That's the first of the seed set. We obviously, naturally, we will follow them through. Disasters or successes, whatever happens, I'll show you for sure how they develop onwards. And so over the next few days, I shall continue now setting my seeds and see how they go. So as always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment. I hope you will have a go. If the one thing I hope, even if this video inspires one person to go out and buy a packet of seeds and have a go at setting some. I'm a great believer. It's an art that we're losing. It's so easy nowadays with online and garden centres. In May and June, or even in April, they start selling bedding plants, which is ridiculous. It's so easy just to go out and buy plants and set them, but it's quite a challenge, and it's very interesting to think, well, I've raised that right from a packet of seeds, and then see them in the summer. So it's quite inspiring, I still think. So I hope this might inspire somebody to have a go anyway. But as always, thanks for watching, and thanks for putting up with me rambling on again. And till the next time, wherever you are in the world, I wish you good gardening and my best wishes, and bye for now.